Hi everybody, this is Sniper69 here, and this is my first World of Warships commentary. I hope you enjoy it. In this game I'm playing the Bismarck. It's a secondary spec, and I'm running Concealment Expert, which I'll talk about a little bit later. The map is Trap, and I am top tier. And I start the game heading down between B and C. The plan is to sit somewhere around D5, just behind that island, support B, support C. If I need to push into B, I can, and if there's too many people at C, I could duck behind the island, behind B. Looking at the map, there's not a lot of, my team's not really up here. Both our DDs are down south, going to B, which is good, but there's not really many people up at C. So I tell my Edinburgh that I'm not heading to C, and I don't think it's actually a good idea to head into C by myself. So we're just waiting for the enemy to pop up. I'm just pushing in. It's 2 minutes have a minute and a half has passed, and I'm taking an aggressive position to try and help my team. The enemy is starting to pop up now. It looks like B cap is about to be contested, if I remember correctly, and things get pretty hectic pretty soon. So I've told my Edinburgh that I'm not going in, and he wants to go. He decides that he wants to go in, and being the team player that I am, I decided that I'll back him up, and the Tirpitz pops up at I think 13 kilometers or something. And the enemy team, 3 cruisers, are pushing into the B cap, so things are going to get pretty hairy pretty quickly. So the Tirpitz pops up at 15 kilometers, and now he's at 14.3. So he's probably not running Concealment Expert because he was spotted so far away, but I still haven't been spotted yet, and there are 3 cruisers pushing up into B who haven't seen me. I'm waiting for the Tirpitz to try and show broadside so I can get a shot in, but he doesn't show it, and the island, I can see the island is coming into the way. So I don't take a shot, but the Edinburgh pops up at 12.7 kilometers. He has no idea I'm there until I get plane spotted, and I think now he kind of realizes, and he goes, "Oh shit!" But he has to show broadside because we have ships on B as well, so he can't fight both. And I take a shot, and I get a nice volley, 13k, 14k actually, but it's pretty good. Tirpitz is in secondary range. I select my target, and I'm just ducking behind the island so I don't eat any stray Edinburgh torpedoes. I think the range is like 9 kilometers, 10 kilometers or something. But I don't want to take any risks. I'm slowing down because I'm trying to get another shot at the Tirpitz. Don't want to show him too much broadside. I take basically 10k. It's kind of hard to avoid damage when you're slowing down, but I do a nice 6k back, and this is where things get interesting. So the enemy team have an Edinburgh and a Tirpitz pushing to our Edinburgh and Tirpitz, but we come out on basically come out on top. Spoiler alert! Because of superior positioning, of knowing how to aim, and not charging in like idiots, to be honest, and having the backup of your team. So the Tirpitz pops, decides to come out. I'm just wary of his torpedoes. He's coming out, showing broadside. I aim in the upper deck area. Bang, 21k. So yeah, the Tirpitz can't get Citadel at close range, which is a lie by the way, but you still take massive damage, and this is where you have to be very careful in a Bismarck and Tirpitz. He's turning in towards me, and he's revealing his red lower underhull. And you know what I said about Tirpitz? Tirpitz is not being able to be Citadel. Well, that's not true if you know where to aim and you know the position to aim in. So he's turning in. He's showing me his red underbelly. I slap my AP, German AP, right under there, and he takes a big chunk. If the island wasn't blocking the way, probably would have deleted him. So I'm pushing in. I know there's 2 DVs up ahead of me. I'm trying to do a few torpedo beats as a Nürnberg. But I need to be paying more attention to the ships in front of me than the Nürnberg on the side. Belfast on B, but the big concern is that Akatsuki, and he's my secondary target now. I'm trying to get a few shots on him. Moving to B, I kind of overextend a little bit here, to be honest. Like I shouldn't really be here, but after getting that shot on the Tirpitz, after deciding to engage that turret, so I'm kind of in a bad position. And I'm pushing into the B cap. The Belfast pops, the Belfast is in front of me. Kind of a shameless kill steal here, to be honest. But you need kills to do well on your elements campaign thing, the mission set from Wargaming. So somehow I've got a lot of kills this game, just generally speaking. So I don't try to kill steal too much, but yeah, the Kagero appears, which is I'm shitting my pants at the moment. I kind of wasted Hydro at the start. I think I forgot to mention it. It wasn't a good thing to waste Hydro because I really like it right now. So that's why I'm slowing down, trying to avoid the torpedoes. The Belfast pops radar, which is really good, and the Katsuki is right in front of me. He can't really torp me from this angle, and I select him as my secondaries, and he just gets deleted by the first two, which is really good. Kill secure number 2. Nagato ahead of me. He's my secondary target now. Poor Nagato, he's kind of stuck in the open, no real cover. His Kagero doesn't bother smoking. I don't know where his Kagero is just nearby. He's torped by now. They're the torps I'm turning in. Gotta dodge them quite easily, to be honest. They're a bit close, but I managed to dodge them. Nagato, he's kind of stuck in the open. He's slowing down. He's gonna eat a stack of damage. My secondaries are raining. My secondary started shooting at like minute 18, and they've been pretty much firing non-stop for the last 5 minutes. So if you know how to play play the Bismarck, you can do exceptionally well if you know what he can do and what he can get away with. Nagato is just he's just eating damage, and my secondaries managed to get the kill. So second close quarters expert for this game, which is fantastic. Nuremberg up ahead, but I select my secondaries, but the Edinburgh finishes them off. And this is where I kind of make a mistake. The Kagero is on C, and I kind of decide that I want to help my team push up to C. I've got Hydro running, so I'm not too scared of being torped, but it's kind of a mistake to chase him up this far. So I'll just skip ahead because nothing really happens. I eat a torpedo, but I quickly realize that I shouldn't be pushing up here because I'm not achieving anything. I just turn back, achieving anything here. And the Amagi, who was down south, has pushed into B. He's doing the right thing. He's trying to contest. There is only one DD on B, our Farragut. Can't really stealth torp, but he could do a suicide rush if worst came to worst. But Umagi's pushing up 70 kilometers. He's kind of turning in, showing a bit of broadside. Get a few overpens, not the best of hits, but I need to push up and get towards B and help out my team. Pretty much all of us at C aren't doing anything anymore. One of us should just sit here to stop the Kagero from capping. We do have the ship's numbers, but the Umagi is now turning. He's showing broadside, and I get a nice juicy hit right here. Look at that, just deleted. And I'm feeling pretty stoked at the moment. 4 kills, 127k damage, 116 secondary hits, 2 close quarter expert medals, and Confederate. I'm pretty happy with this game so far. I've come in, I've helped my team, and most of my shots have been relatively on point, and we're in a good position to win the rest of the game. And it's just, if a lot of people just sit back with the Bismarck and snipe, which is not how you should really play it. And a lot of people just rush in and YOLO without thinking about their positioning and their team and if they have backup or not. Yes, sometimes you do need to push in with your Bismarck. Yes, you have secondaries and you can brawl with them. But to be honest, if you don't have an exit plan, if you don't have an escape plan, you're just a brick. Like to be honest, like you will get deleted. You will eat random citadels every now and then. Like you'll be turning, and some AP will just come in from the side and hit you in the underbelly, and you'll be like, God damn it! Or they'll hit you in like this. There's like this portion here of bow, apparently where you can get citadel through like at an angle. I don't know how true that is, but like I have eaten damage at oblique angles, which is not particularly good. And the other thing about the Tirpitz and Bismarck is that I prefer to run manual secondary as a secondary build, and I like to throw on Concealment Expert as my last 4-point skill. I think it's fantastic on the Bismarck and Tirpitz. I mean, you end up with 12.3 kilometers secondaries, 12.3 kilometers concealment, and 3 bounces on a French cruiser. I'm not very happy with that, but anyway, 12.3 kilometer concealment, and considering you have 10.6 kilometer secondaries, by the time an enemy realizes that an enemy pushing into you realizes that they've pushed into a turpus, by the time they turn around, with the 700-meter turning circle, they're gonna push in 700 meters. You've got 11.6 kilometers of distance, give or take, and by the time they've turned that 700 meters, because they slow down in a turn, generally speaking, you would have pushed a kilometer. You've got 10.7 gun. You're 10.7 kilometers away. Your secondaries are about to start opening up on them. Game's pretty much going to finish soon. I've pushed down into B. There's a Dunkirk ahead of me, but he's not going to last long for this world. I take another shot at the Charles Martel. I'm just trying to hunt a Kraken. Kind of shameless to be honest, but I do want a Kraken. It'd be nice to bag 6 kills as opposed to 5, but I never managed to hit the Charles Martel again. Not at this range. He's kind of sailing away. He's kiting, but the Dunkirk is ahead of me. I selected him as my secondaries, pushing up. The game's pretty much over to be honest, but spoiler alert, I do get Kraken. It is the Dunkirk, but the game's over. There's nothing really to add to be honest, but the thing about the Turpus and Bismarck is knowing how to is to try and stay within your comfortable engagement distance, which is 10 to 15 kilometers. Don't get too close, but don't sit back too far. And a lot of people, they think they can't get Citadel, Bismarck or Turpus, and the fact of the matter is, yes, you can get Citadel. Just because the enemy is bad doesn't mean you should do stupid things, right? If the enemy is bad, yes, you can get away with stupid things, but don't, overly rely on the enemy team being stupid. Because every now and then there'll be a player who knows what they're doing, and they will just stomp you, and leave you in the dust and make you look like a fool. So the game pretty much ends here. 165k damage, 2 close quarter expert medals, Confederate high caliber, and Kraken Unleashed, 4 Citadel hits, 152 secondaries. Somehow managed to get 5 fires, but whatever. Thanks for watching, and I hope that you've learned something about how to play the Bismarck. It is one of the easier ships to play, but not everybody plays it well.